All right. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Firm handshakes. Yes. Firm handshakes. Slaps on the ass for everyone. How we doing? Buenos dias. ATEC. ATEC somewhere else every day. Tokyo, Dubai. Where else? Please post your link from the Discord. I'm not sure what that means. Post my link from the Discord. Link to the Discord's in the description below. Don't leave a handprint. I got you on the email. I saw it, Cyber. I'll get back to you today. Sorry about that. Buenos dias. Did I sell MU TSM? Yeah, I sold those on Monday. Monday is when I got out of TSM. I think I have that in here. Where is it? Yeah, so back on the 22nd, I was selling some TSM here. Took half off at 200% on TSM. And just was starting to scale out here on the 22nd. Yeah. So good sell on those. Que lo que? Yeah, that Netflix play. Oh, baby. Oh, shit, I forgot about that Lulu put idea. Is that working? Oh, man. Yeah, it is. Wow. Yeah, that Lulu play worked out great. I totally forgot about that one. Holy shit. Oh, I forgot. Ooh. Damn. Damn. Nice job, Randy. Way to stay in tune with that. I totally forgot about this. Look at that. Wow. Nice. Well done. It's firm handshakes to you, Randy. Yeah. Hell yeah. Netflix, awesome. Yesterday, straight from the live stream. Couldn't have gotten any more textbook. 346 retest rejection. That was good. That just felt right. A lot of good stuff. Yesterday. Really clean NASDAQ rejections, ES rejections. Really nice stuff. Yeah, the Ulta 500. That was nice. Everything's nice. We do a good job here, man. We do a good job. You know? We know what we're talking about. So, if you're here for free, hopefully you're learning something. We do a pretty good job, I must say. Man, don't worry about it, Jerry. Jerry. All right, so welcome back, guys. Hope you're all having a good morning. Hopefully you're having a good start to the day. Hopefully you had a good day yesterday. Today should be a little bit interesting. We're getting some pretty interesting downside pre-market. Some really, really clean NASDAQ S&P rejections to be watching today. We have FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock today, which could be a little bit interesting. So we do have some some volatility to potentially expect here, which could make it a good day. Larry, thank you so much, man. $20. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. I will put that to good use. Hopefully you donate because you made a good trade or something like that, right? That's what I hope, right? If you're going to donate to the stream, I hope it's out of a profit. I hope it's from the market. I hope you're just donating part of some market profits. Don't donate your own hard-earned money. Yeah, Apple's at a key level for sure. Yeah, the Celtics won yesterday. Interesting. Watch that. All right, 8:06. Let's get started. Press that like button if you guys could. We got about 1,000 people in here. If we could hit that like button nice and early, that would be great. Get the stream going, get it pumping, and let's make it a good day. So, schedule today. Let's first start with the economic and earnings calendar. Obviously, the economic calendar is pretty big. Earnings calendar is pretty big as well. We got Nvidia earnings today, which is definitely going to influence the semiconductors. That's without a doubt. Looks like I'm lagging here. A little bit of a lag here. Uh-oh. All right, I think we're okay. So today, Fed Governor Christopher Waller speaks at 12:40, and then this is the big one, right? FOMC minutes today. Watch that 2 p.m. That's going to be big. Tomorrow, GDP. That's also important. Jobless claims as well. So some pretty interesting news coming up here, right? Minutes today, jobless claims tomorrow, and GDP tomorrow. So big stuff, all right? So let's watch out for that. Earnings calendar. We do have Nvidia, so we definitely need to watch out for that one. That will influence AMD. It'll influence Qualcomm and TSM, MU, right? All the semiconductors, it will influence them. So we have to be aware of that if we're going to swing trade anything overnight, right? So right here we can see Nvidia after hours, Snowflake after hours, Splunk, that's cloud computing, right? Best Buy tomorrow, Dollar Tree, Costco, Ulta, so some big retailers, but today's all about Nvidia. So please know that if you're going to swing trade anything, even on the tech sector in general, right? Nvidia will probably have a pretty large influence on the NASDAQ as well. So just please understand that any swing trades today, you are exposing yourself to some possible volatility due to Nvidia earnings, all right? Tesla 190, what an awesome rejection. I'm holding puts on Tesla. I said to myself yesterday, I said, this is too clean of a level. I have to take puts off this level, and I have to trust this 190 supply. So I held puts from pretty much midday yesterday. I'm up about 70% on them, and held them into today, and looking good right now. So I'll sort of review Tesla, share with you guys what I was looking at there, why I swung those put options. Google. Really like this Google weekly rejection. Google's been a strong outperformer, but everything that goes up has to pull back. And this is the level that I think Google could see some pullback off of. It's a major, major weekly chart rejection. So definitely interested in maybe swinging some puts on Google as well. Something I'm definitely watching. Netflix, awesome trade, perfectly executed. Was down and drawdown on this trade. Started to get in the red. Started to lose a little bit of confidence in it, but I stuck to my level, 346. You guys knew that was our level, and it perfectly rejected that level. That was awesome, and it definitely rewarded us towards end of day. So watching Netflix again today. Microsoft is back under 316. This is a big 316 weekly chart rejection. There's a lot of stocks at weekly chart levels. This is a very interesting, next few days on the market. Weekly chart rejection on Google, on Microsoft. There's one coming up on Amazon, right? There's some big weekly chart levels here to watch out for. PayPal, looking to reshort PayPal potentially today. PayPal should exponentially move lower when the market moves lower. If there's any weakness on this market, I think PayPal gets gets hit the most, and it's been getting hit this morning pretty aggressively. So definitely watching a reshort on PayPal. Apple 170 channel low, and then finally Meta under 248 is big as well. So some very big names and some very big levels to be watching today on the market. I'm starting to feel like there is some opportunity looming out there, and I'm getting excited to see what we can catch. So yeah, 364, not 346. Whatever. You guys know. I mean, give me a break. Give me a goddamn break, huh? I'm sure you guys know it's the right level. I mean, look at the chart. It's obviously not 346, so don't listen to me. All right? So, NASDAQ. Let's get started. So, this is just the definition of levels right here on the NASDAQ, guys. These are the exact levels we had on the live stream yesterday, right? The exact levels we had on the live stream yesterday. Nothing has changed here. I haven't moved a single thing. And we can see, right? Yesterday, what did we do? We opened up. We moved into previous day lows. We rejected. Couldn't have been cleaner, right? Right here, you guys can see previous highs, previous lows. Yesterday, we open up the market. We perfectly reject that 13,880 level. And it's just textbook rejections, right? That textbook rejection right there at 13,880 yesterday, and the nice slip to the downside. Now, what's happening this morning, right? What is happening this morning that is absolutely perfect? It is the August highs that we've talked about on this live stream for about 4 days now, right? I've said, let's keep this August high level on our chart, right? We need to keep this level on our chart because this is in previous high on the NASDAQ. You guys can see right here, we dropped, we pushed back into this August high, and look at the reaction off of it this morning. This 13,740 level on the NQ, right? And so if we go to the weekly chart, right, why is this level important to me? So we've talked about this level. This weekly high right here is 13,740.75. That is the exact high back in August when the NASDAQ rejected very aggressively, right? So I wanted to make sure I kept this level on my chart. Now, if we zoom in, look at where the NASDAQ is back below. It is back below that exact weekly chart rejection level. So this is very important. There is no reason to try and long the NASDAQ back into this weekly chart rejection level, right? If you start to see this, you are not going to try to long the NASDAQ back through that weekly chart rejection level. This is a major level on the NASDAQ, and you can see it's being perfectly respected here in the pre-market after hours, and it is starting to fall off of it. If you get any pushback into it, I would look for supply rejections. That would be my first thought process, right? This is not just some kind of short-term level, right? This is a big one. So let me go to the daily chart. Maybe we can see this in a little bit more detail here. It's right here, right? It's right here. This level, this high right there is 13,740.75. So if we're under this, right, if we are under this level right here, we are not going to try to long back into this high, right? That is something we need to understand as we approach the market today. So that is right there, 13,740.75 on the NASDAQ. Watch that level today. That has to be on your charts, all right? Now, to the downside, right, you have to be careful on the shorts into this demand, right? You can see right here. You have to be careful on the charts or the shorts into this demand right here. This is 13,630. This is a previous low, previous low, previous low, and previous low, right? If we are short, we cannot be overly aggressive and think that this is just going to slip right below it. We have to most likely be a profit taker here and understand that there could be some demand hold here that could sort of kill our put options if we take puts today. So we have to be aware of that 13,630 level on the NASDAQ. So right now, right, the best trades are either a pop back into August highs, supply rejection here, right? You could look for that demand hold. I'm not too fond of that today because I need to see the market slow down this downside before thinking that works, right? I like demand holds more in a uptrend. This is starting to look like it's getting a little weak, but I will watch that demand hold possibility at 13,630. That's a potential setup. Or, right, if we see this and this thing starts to turn into a rejection, if this previous quadruple bottom here starts to turn into rejections right here, then you guys know what we're looking for, right? Break and retest of this triple bottom, quadruple bottom, whatever you want to call it. If we turn that 13,630 into rejections, that's going to lead to downside, without a doubt. So, looking to see if we can play off these levels today, right? We're not going to just take trades in the middle of this channel here. We're looking for supply rejections here. You could look for that demand hold here. The most juicy trade, right? This is the juicy trade. The juicy trade is right there, right? Look at this. It is a break under 630 and a supply rejection back into that 520, right? That's the juicy trade. Who texted me? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's big, right? 13,630. Watch that. That's your demand today. That's a possible break and hold below if we get weak. And then watch that 13,740 as well. All right. You could see some of these highs hold. Yeah, like this, like you just pointed out there, Nicholas. You could see some of these highs hold. I'm not interested in going long off these highs. It's not strong enough to me, right? The only way I'd go long is at this low. I'm not going to be going long at these little highs here. This little singular high right here and some of this choppy action over here. That's not interesting me for highs, for demand. The only demand I would look to potentially take today is this quadruple bottom. That's much stronger, right? So 13,630, 13,740, very clear, very clear. All right, QQQ. You guys can see we had that August high marked out, right? We had this on our charts for quite some time. And look at what it's doing, right? That August high is turning into a perfect rejection point this morning. Nice downside. Where are we watching? 331, right? Look at this 331 shelf right here. If we drop 331 and turn it into rejections, you're going to give back this move right here, right? So 331, that's big on the Qs. That's the same as that previous quadruple bottom here on the NASDAQ, right, that we just talked about. This little 13,630, that's the exact same as 331 on the QQQ right here. So 331, 334, that's your channel. Very important channel to pay attention to. ES. This is very clean and very important. And here's why, right? Look at this hourly chart. Look at where we are now trading back within, right? If you guys remember the channel that we were all waiting for us to break out of, well, we're back in it. So it's like the last 5 days never happened here. So big squeeze out of the channel, big push back within it, right? You are right back within this channel like it never happened. So what level are we watching? It's our infamous 4010, right? We are right back into the 414 to 4010, right? We are right back in there. So SPY, you can clearly see this 414.50 supply highs, right here. You can see how that rejected this morning. We are back within this 414.50 to 410 channel. We are right there. The nightmare continues is right. So I would expect at some point the S&P to test one of these sides again, right? There is absolutely going to be a test of one of these channel highs or channel lows. All right, if we get a pushback into the highs, we look for that rejection. If we get a pushback in the 4010, we could look for that demand. I'm saying 4010 like it's actually the actual number now. If we break 4010, right? If we break and hold below this 410, right? That's your next, that's where the party can really start here, right? If we break and hold under that 410 there, that's money, right? So watch out for that. Look for the 414.50 supply rejections. Watch for the 410 demand, right? This is just a channel, and we have to respect the channel. ES, right? 4170, perfect rejections this morning. Couldn't get any cleaner, right? You can clearly see we dropped 4170, bounced back into it, double topped at 4170, the exact previous highs, the exact previous lows. It's just perfect technical levels, right? This is why charting futures is so important. I made a video about this yesterday, how you need to start every trading day with a game plan, right? So understanding these levels. I am not going to long the ES back into 4170, right? I'm not, if the market sort of pops it open and, 10 minutes into the market, we're at 4160 already. I'm not going to start entering long positions back into a channel high, right? This is what we need to understand in our heads. We need to understand and have that game plan before we come into the market, right? Because when we come into the market, we all know, and I know it myself, your mind starts to ramble. It starts to go everywhere, right? It's hard to think about exactly what's going on in real time, right? When it starts to hit real time, you start to lose content or lose context of where we are, right? So we need to make sure we know where we are at all times. We have to make sure we stay aware of all the levels that are on the chart. So if we're at 4160 and you're starting to get bullish and you're like, oh man, this looks really good, I'm going to try to take this breakout, right? And then you forget that you're at 4170, right? This is exactly what could have happened to some people yesterday, right? So if we go to the 5-minute chart on the ES yesterday, right? The market opens and you start to squeeze to the upside, right? And if you're not aware, actually, you know what? This even looks better on the NASDAQ. The market opens, right, and you squeeze to the upside on the NASDAQ. Over the first 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes on the NASDAQ, you're pushing to the upside, right? And if you're not aware of where the market is, and if you lose context of where the market is, you are going to make decisions that you will look back and say, what the hell was I thinking, right? And so yesterday, first 25 minutes of the market, we need to know that we are going to the upside, but we are going to the upside right into the previous day lows. We cannot be trading long into previous day lows. There is no sense in that, right? So it's the same thing today. If you see this market pop it open, right? If you see this market pop it open, and by the first 20 minutes, you are sitting right back at this 13,740 level, you are not going to start to take longs into this supply rejection, right? You have to make sure you are aware of where we are on the market at all times. You cannot get blinded by these quick moves into supply or into demand. It's the same thing to the downside, right? And this is not just a biased conversation. It's the same thing to the downside. If you go straight down at market open today, let's say the market opens and you literally tank straight down and it goes right into 13,630. Right? And you start to enter put options at a quadruple bottom here. If this thing bounces, right off that level, after the market closes, you're going to relook at your trades and say, what the hell was I thinking? Why am I trading put options back into a triple bottom demand? All right? So these are the things that we have to make sure we're paying attention to on a daily basis. Why I'm talking about this in a free live stream, I don't know. If you appreciate that, the least you could do is press the like button, right? So let's continue. The Russell was extremely clean yesterday off this 1820 channel high. I saw some of you guys in the Discord taking IWM puts. You killed it on that. That was spot on analysis. We pushed right into that channel high on the Russell, right into 1820 yesterday. The Russell was outperforming for most of the morning, but where was it pushing into? Right into the supply channel high. And look at what happened right at that channel high supply. I mean, it is just perfect stuff, right? Perfect stuff right at that channel high. Bam, bam, rejection, right? Right at that channel high. So really clean stuff there. Dow Jones, Mike Jones. It's been weak, man. The Mike Jones has been weak. So, I mean, you just can't get over this 33.8, right? You just can't get over this 33.8. You're probably just going to trade back down to this 32.8 here, 32.5, 32.6. Probably. Yeah, great job, Larry. Larry's the one that caught IWM. Well done, Larry. I mean, this thing's a mess. But I would assume that the Dow is going to have to trade back to these lows here, back to around that 32.6. Clearly weak. All right. So that's the futures. Really clean stuff, right? Here's Tesla 190. We talked about this level yesterday. We said do not be the first one to long into 190, right? And you guys saw yesterday we got above 190. When we saw that break and retest of 190 yesterday, I was immediately in put options. So I entered puts right here, right? As soon as I saw this previous 190 low turn into a rejection right here yesterday, I was entering puts right here, right? And I figured we have 190 major supply. We just tried to move above it and failed, right? Sometimes this is more bearish to me than this, right? Sometimes, in my opinion, this move above the supply and then a break back below is more bearish than this, right? And so why is that, right? Think about the psychology of the market. Why is this more bearish than just a supply rejection of 190? The reason for this is because of all of the trapped buyers above 190, right? Everyone that went long above 190 that maybe started to get into either heavy positions, looking for swing trades, looking for that 190 hold, looking for that upside continuation, taking their 200 YOLO calls, 250 YOLO calls, because Tesla's, going parabolic here. Those buyers, those retail buyers, whoever they are, right, that now are trapped into this position after it falls back below 190, either stopping out here under 190 or just sort of hoping and praying back under 190, right? So this is actually more bearish to me than it would have been if we just rejected 190, right? Because you didn't get that on just a clean rejection of 190. You don't really get these buyers to stack in, right, and then get stopped out. So that was pretty bearish on Tesla yesterday. And if we go to the daily chart, right, if we go to the daily chart, you can see that big wick rejection at 190. Yeah, you did well on Tesla there, Piff. Well done. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of time to take profits on Tesla upside, right? It's only the people that are just sort of sitting and praying. If you're scaling out, taking profits, there was plenty of time to take those profits on Tesla upside today. Or yesterday. There was nothing wrong with taking Tesla upside yesterday. There was absolutely nothing wrong. Even on this 190 break and retest, right? This was a trade I wish I would have taken. This was a fantastic upside break and retest right here. But you got to be a profit taker, right? You got to be a profit taker on that type of move. You can't just sit and hold in it. So daily chart, right? That's a pretty nasty daily chart candle at 170. You guys can see that right there. 190. That is a very clean 190 supply rejection. You guys can see that right there. Today, we're watching 182, right? 182. This is that shelf. It could hold this, right? This could absolutely hold at 182. So watch out for that if you are in Tesla puts. If you drop under 182, then I think the downside continues. So 182 is your level to watch. Google. I don't typically take long-term put options and just sort of let them go, but this is starting to be an idea for me that I might put, some small risk into. This is Google on the weekly chart, and this looks pretty interesting to me. Weekly chart, Google, weekly chart. Every candle here is a weekly candle, and this is a pretty major weekly chart level here, and I'm starting to see, right, this candle is starting to get me interested, right? Look at this weekly candle right here on Google. This is a previous major demand on Google from back in January of 2022 all the way through until April of 2022. So this was about 4 months that we bounced off this 126, 127 level on Google. And right here, we are starting to see the looks of a pretty nasty wick rejection on the weekly chart here, right at following a pretty major move to the upside, right? So could Google see a rejection here when we zoom out and really think long-term off a weekly chart level like that after a pretty ridiculous straight-up move here, right? At the very least, right, if we run a fib for the fib boys, right? Even a 50% retracement brings us back to 115. 61.8 retracement brings us back to 113, right? The 38.2 takes us back to 118, right? So there is absolutely opportunity, in my opinion, on a pullback here off this major weekly chart rejection. I don't think, even if we pull back to this 108, 109 level, I think Google's still bullish, right? I still think it's bullish, right? I still think it's bullish, even if we pull back to here. This is still a bullish move, right? There's nothing bearish about this move. It's still above these major highs. It's still just creating higher lows and higher highs. But this is opportunity, right? This is opportunity. So I like this, right? I like this. This is a pretty much vertical move that should give back some of it. This is where I think this would be my target, back to like this 109 area, this previous high. I could absolutely see Google give back some of this move. Obviously, we're going to have to see the NASDAQ with a little bit of weakness before we take something like that. But even if it's just a little fib trade back to like the 50%, 61.8 on a little pullback, I think that's absolutely an opportunity. I'm absolutely watching that today. Meta has started its latest rounds of layoffs, focusing on business groups. I'm sure Meta's up like 60% off that. Not much, actually. Interesting. So that's Google. Very interested there. Watching that one. Netflix. Interesting day, huh? If you guys are in the Discord chat with me, what a day that was. What a fun day. We were in double overtime. We were in the voice chat till like 1 o'clock almost, which never happens. We were playing lo-fi. We were vibing, waiting for Netflix to pay us, and it sure as hell did, and it couldn't have worked out. It was just a great day. So really nice, right? We talked about that 364 rejection on Netflix yesterday. It was very clear. Previous low. We broke below it in the pre-market. I should have been more patient, right? But I knew Netflix had the possibility of just dying at open, or dying, pretty early after open. So I did enter puts about 5 minutes into the market open, because I did not want to be scared of risking this to make this, right? So I was like, all right, let me just get in here, right? I'll risk the 364. That's fine, because I would rather risk this than miss out on the big move that I thought Netflix could do. So I did get in pretty early, and I said to the group, I'm not getting out of this trade until we break over 364. Obviously, in normal fashion, as Netflix went higher, I got about 10 messages. Are you out? Are you out? Are you out? Are you taking your loss? Are you taking your loss? And every single time the answer to that is Netflix over 364? If it is not, I am still in the position, right? That is how I trade, right? If it's under my stop loss, if it's under my technical level, I am not going to allow some upside to scare me out of a position. I have to stay true to my plan, right? I'm not going to let a little bit of upside just take me out of a position. So we had a little bit of upside. I was sure as hell red on the position, right? But I believed in the 364 rejection right here, and the rest is history. Sexy stuff, beautiful stuff. Scaled out into this move, got caught in this little stupid pop, but it came right back down, and I'm still holding 2 contracts into today. So that was hot, and that was awesome. So let's continue to watch that. I think Netflix has more, personally. I think Netflix has more here. I think Netflix could possibly trade back to that 348, 345 area, right, and give back this move, as we've talked about on this stream multiple times. So that was just a textbook trade there. Microsoft, 316. This is no joke that we're back below 316, right? We talked about this 316 level. This is that weekly chart high, right? Remember we talked about all the weekly chart rejections, right? Weekly chart rejections at 316 on Microsoft back here on March of 2022, right? 316 is the exact high of this candle. 315.95 is the exact high, right? So look at what we did this morning, right? Look at what we did this morning. Where did Microsoft break and hold below in the pre-market today? Exactly at 316. Exactly at 316. If Microsoft is below 316, I think it continues to stay weak because, right, it's not because of short-term thinking. This is a longer-term thinking here. This is back below a weekly chart rejection point. So as long as Microsoft is below 316, my opinion here is that it's going to stay weak under 316. It's a previous support here, turning into a rejection right here. And so under 316, I am interested in maybe catching some downside on Microsoft. I'm going to be watching this 313.50 demand, and I'm going to be watching this 310, 311 demand here. But very interested to see if Microsoft stays under 316. Do we get a little bit of downside? Does it maybe need to test these channel lows again, right? A little bit of a pullback does not hurt this market, does not hurt the stock, right? Pullbacks are normal. If we run a fib from this move right here, right, a fib for this move right here, you got your 50% retracement at 313.50. It's pretty much lining up with the levels. 61.8 back at 311, 78.6 back at 308. Right, so I'm just looking for a pullback into these demand levels, looking to see if we stay under that 316. PayPal. So you guys know I shorted PayPal on this right here off 66, caught it down into like 6. I think I got out. I'm pretty sure I put it in the swing section. Okay, I got out on Friday of last week, and then I put that money into TSM. So I got out at open here on Friday of last week, and then I put that money into that TSM swing, and that worked out pretty well. It worked out nicely, but I am interested in reshorting PayPal here. This is a very clean rejection, right? You guys can see right here, previous lows, previous highs, right? Previous lows here, into new highs. So if PayPal stays below this 63 level, right, and the NASDAQ starts to get weak, I am definitely interested in seeing if this thing underperforms again. A break under 60 here on PayPal could get very juicy, very slippery. So watch PayPal today. I still think this thing is in some sort of a liquidation mode, to be quite honest. If I go here to the weekly chart, you guys have seen me talk about this. Right, this is the weekly chart. There is just nothing here on PayPal. What a move this was on PayPal, man. I don't remember. I think I do remember, but I never caught any of this. This is a ridiculous upside move on PayPal. This is back in what, 21? Oh, that's 2017. Jeez, what was happening in 2017 on PayPal? I wasn't trading PayPal in 2017. Huh. If anyone knows what this was all about, you let me know. But 2017, it was pretty much straight up, and we are right back in that zone, right? And so I don't think any of this area is legitimate support on PayPal, and so I am definitely still going to be monitoring this for more downside here. I'm going to look to see if we break under that 60 level right here. So just pointing that out, letting you guys know. Apple, 170, big time move here, or big time level here. Was it crypto? Yeah, maybe it was crypto. So 170, you guys can see right here on Apple. Very, very big level today on Apple, right? Major level here. You can see previous highs, previous lows, all in this 170. Big psych level as well. So definitely watching to see what Apple does at 170 today. If the market bounces today, Apple could find demand here without a doubt, right? We could definitely see a 170 demand hold on Apple, so make sure you're aware of that. If you break under 170, that could get a little interesting, right? So watch this 170 on Apple today. That is a pretty key level, in my opinion, on Apple and for the market in general. All right, so we're going to go over Meta, and then we're going to go over the semiconductors because of earnings, and then we're going to get out of here. If you guys could, I'm just going to take a 1 second Celsius break, right? 1 second Celsius break. I'm not sponsored, but I should be. Celsius for traders. That's what they should have it. If you guys could take 1 second, press the like button. Great. Good flavor. Great flavor. Great. Press that like button. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000. So, Meta 248, right? You guys know I'm not gonna relook at 248. You should know what 248 is. 248 is that major gap level, right? So we are back below 248 here on Meta, right? We are back below 248. So I could not be a long trader on Meta under 248. I think it's very difficult, right? Unless you can get a really nice pullback entry, maybe back to like 242. I think it's very difficult to trade upside on Meta back into 248, right? So be careful of this level. This is a big level. This is that weekly, that gap fill level. And I would not want to be a long trader back into that zone, right? So just be careful of 248 rejections. That's a big level there. If you get a pullback, watch this 244, right? This is where it's bounced off previously, and watch this 242 for potential hold levels. If Meta drops 242, then I think you probably can see some more, further downside here. I think that's probably your key level here. You can see that dates back to these previous highs here, right? Right here, 242. That really is the big level, right? So 244, the big level is really 242. Under 242 is where I think you can get that pullback. I wouldn't be surprised to see it back at 230. That's a very possible pullback if the market does get weak. So watch 242 on Meta and be careful longing into 248. All right, let's look at some semiconductors. So Nvidia clearly was just pretty much a breakout squeeze. That's not normal. Let's all just accept what it is. That is not a normal move on the market. Nvidia pretty much rallied 10% in like 3 days. It's not a normal move. That's a fantastic profit-taking opportunity for most. Probably why that happened. Taking some profits before earnings, and then the back half of that move is starting to come in now. So 303, right? This is big, and I think we're actually breaking that right now. We actually just did break that, because why is this big? Well, if you look at 303, right, this is where Nvidia had that big push off on Thursday, right at 303. So if we break back under 303, I would expect this weakness to continue. If Nvidia is under 303, be careful of that weakness. The next level I'd be paying attention to is this previous high here at 298, right? This is a pretty volumeless gap between 303 and 298. So I would probably look for that trade myself. I'm probably not going to trade Nvidia though today because of increased implied volatility due to the earnings that are coming out today. So just be careful of that high IV if you're going to trade Nvidia. But 303, 298, and I don't think there's anything wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with seeing Nvidia. It's still, to me, bullish getting Nvidia to pull back to this 290, right? This is still potentially bullish for Nvidia. This is just a pretty nasty breakout that's just going to give back some of the move. Very common, right? We're not going to expect the market to maintain straight up moves like that, especially when we look at this daily chart, right? Look at the daily chart. Look at the last 3 daily candles. You have to expect some type of pullback after that type of move, right? So if we go to the weekly, we can see we also rejected that 314 weekly high, right? This is almost all-time highs for Nvidia. Look at those weekly rejections, and look at that weekly candle that's coming in right now. That's those weekly wick highs that we talked about, and look at that weekly candle rejection that's coming in right now. So does Nvidia, in my opinion, it should retest this 290, right? You should retest this previous channel high, or this previous weekly high back at 290. This makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Retest this breakout point right here where we broke out of 290, retest it, and that's still bullish in my eyes. But that is sort of the target that you want to look for. Give us this retest of 290 and then see if there's more upside opportunity. So watch for this Nvidia today. It does have earnings after hours, so just be careful of that. AMD, if we look at this weekly chart on AMD, here's another stock that's on a weekly chart rejection move. This is Pretty crazy how many stocks are sitting at some weekly candle or weekly charts, weekly chart rejection levels. There's a lot of them. And so is that opportunity for some pullbacks? I think you'd be crazy not to think that, or at least want to see some pullbacks in the market. Even if you're bullish here, you still want to see some pullbacks, right? Look at what AMD did, in this upside move, right? It didn't come without pullbacks. You can see pullback here, right? Pullback here. This is what makes a healthy move on a market. You need those pullbacks. Get those buyers coming in again, right? So this could possibly be, right, the next pullback, right? And if we get a little pullback on AMD, maybe that leads to more upside. You don't want to just see these things go straight up. So you can see right here, previous high. That's where we're rejecting as we speak on AMD. 5-minute chart. You guys can see it's been really tough to get above that 110, 109 area on AMD. We've talked about this level. I would be watching the move back into this 103 area right here. I think that's probably where AMD wants to move back into on a healthy pullback, back into that 103, 104, right? So right here, 103, 104, right? That's where I would want to sort of trade AMD back into to see if it holds this demand here. So definitely going to watch AMD today. It looks like it's getting pretty damn weak as we speak. It broke under this 107, which is very important, right? If we stay under this 107 low, I would expect AMD, to see some weakness here, back into this 103. TSM got pretty nasty. Good swing trade. Love everything about it. Obviously, a little bit of a pullback coming in now. I'm probably not going to look at this one until we see, sort of where this pullback slows down. You can see we sort of got pretty harshly rejected up here around this 93, 94, some of this channel high over here. So I'm going to wait to see what happens post Nvidia. I'd probably stay away from this one, but you could look to fade this move, right? You could fade this move maybe back down to that 87, maybe even back down to that 83 retest if you like TSM to the downside. But I'm no longer looking for upside here. I took my profits on TSM. Obviously, I wanted more, but I have to stay realistic, right? I cannot be, too biased to any move. I have to stay with what's coming in on the market. The biggest reason why I took profits on TSM is because I started to see that 4,200 on the ES, right? I started to see the overall market get a little weak, and I said, okay, I'm not going to just hold TSM if I think the market's going to pull back, right? If I'm not going to go against my technicals on the ES and NASDAQ and just maintain a call position because I'm being greedy. So, yeah, TSM pulling back. MU, I'd watch this 64, right? This would be a 64 retest that I would watch for MU. If MU holds that 64, this could be a nice little break and retest still. So keep an eye on that MU 64, all right? What did Qualcomm do yesterday? Because Qualcomm, yeah, where is it at? Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Hold on here. Hold on. Yeah. Qualcomm is at, okay. Yeah, this is interesting on Qualcomm. I didn't realize it came back down here because yesterday you got that news about Broadcom, AVGO, with Apple, and Qualcomm is typically the supplier of Apple, but this might really hurt Qualcomm here. Look at this pre-market. This is nasty. Okay, hold on. Let's zoom out here a little bit. This is the last thing we're looking at before we go. Weekly chart on Qualcomm. Huh. A little bit messy over here. 94, 90, 93 to 90. Right in this area here, possibly. Let's go zoom in a little bit. 102. Yeah. Watch 102 on Qualcomm, guys. If you drop 102, this could get a little bit slippery here, right? You drop 102, this could get slippery on Qualcomm. I would watch this. Oh, geez. Okay. This even makes me even more confident. Look at this. Huh. That's right at 102. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that gap. Damn. Gap from 102 to 93. Look at that. Yep, that's a big watch for me today. That's a big watch for me today. 102 to 93 gap. Watch that. If Qualcomm stays under 102, that could be a nice little setup right there. Keep an eye on this one. This is interesting. This is interesting. All right, that's all I got. We got 1,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. I know it was really hard. I know the battle was tough. I know that finger didn't want to move, but I really appreciate your perseverance, your commitment to press that like button. I know it was rough out there, out in the trenches, but I appreciate your guys' commitment to the chat, commitment to the stream. Yeah. Thank you guys for the VSM, the violence, speed, momentum. I appreciate your guys' support. As always, thank you for being here. If you appreciate the streams, if you like the streams, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're here every single day starting at 8 a.m. Am I going to be here tomorrow? Hold on here. What time is my flight? What time is my flight tomorrow? I board at 10:20. And so I have to leave probably 9. Maybe like a short stream tomorrow. Maybe like an 8 to 8:30, 8 to 8:15. Maybe just like go over the futures. I think that's maybe what we'll do. Maybe I'll even start it earlier for you guys in California. Again, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I don't know. We'll be here though. Whether it's probably just going to be a short one. Maybe like a 15, 20 minute NASDAQ futures, ES futures type of stream. So thank you guys so much. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you a little bit tomorrow. Just a little bit. Un poquito. See you later. Peace.
Yeah.